The adventurous story begins with a tour guide showing a very old mansion to a group of people in exchange for money. The guide tells everyone that a great king once lived in this place, but one day, the king found all his servants dead inside the palace, with only his daughter left alive. Later, the king found out that it was his daughter who had killed all the servants. To punish her for this act, the king locked her in a room forever. Even after 1,000 years, people still hear voices coming from that room. While the guide was telling this story, a candle placed in front of him suddenly fell by itself. These events scared the tourists, making them realize that maybe the king's daughter's spirit was still alive. After explaining everything to the tourists and taking their money, the guide returned to the mansion. Later, it was revealed that the candle falling was part of the guide's plan. He did this to fool the tourists and make money from them. But suddenly, paranormal activities began happening around him. The secret room's door started opening by itself, and an unknown force began lifting the guide and throwing him around. The guide tried very hard to escape, but he couldn't get out of the house. Eventually, the paranormal entity captured him and locked him inside the house forever. On the other side, we meet Erin, a professor. Despite her talent, her relatives always belittle her. Even though Erin worked as a professor at a university, she was still looking for a better job. One day, while Erin was preparing for a presentation on stage, a senior professor approached her and told her that the fictional book she had written was very impressive. Erin was shocked because she had never written such a book. The professor showed her a famous book that had her photo on the cover. Erin was completely stunned when she saw the book because it was something she had written years ago with her friend, Abby. This book contained imaginary and fictional stories written by Erin and Abby. However, they had both decided not to publish it. But now, the professor told Erin that the book had started selling online. Erin was completely shocked after seeing all of this. The surprising part was that everyone was really enjoying the book. Wanting to find out more about these events, Erin went to meet her friend Abby. Abby had turned her house into an experimental space, where she conducted various experiments with her assistant Julia. Erin started asking Abby about everything. Abby explained that everything they had imagined as children might now be coming true, but they had to find it. That's why Abby and Julia had created gadgets to see ghosts, as seeing ghosts was also part of their childhood imagination. Erin then shared with them that a professor had approached her and mentioned a haunted mansion. Abby and Julia were thrilled to hear this and decided to visit the mansion. Abby was eager to prove that all the things from their childhood imagination were real, and Erin, although reluctant, had to follow Abby and Julia. The three of them met the tour guide, who no longer wanted to go to the mansion because something paranormal had attacked him the previous night. Despite this, Abby continued exploring the mansion with her strange gadgets, while Julia was recording everything with a camera. Erin, however, considered all of it nonsense. After wandering around the haunted mansion for a long time, they found nothing. Suddenly, Abby's gadget began spinning rapidly by itself. As they turned around, they saw the door to the basement open, and the king's daughter, who had become a very dangerous ghost, was emerging. The ghost of the king's daughter started spewing green-colored substance from her mouth. Abby was recording all of this as proof. The ghost then ran away and disappeared. Abby and Julia were overjoyed that they had finally seen a ghost, and Erin's entire video footage was uploaded online. However, many viewers believed that the whole thing was scripted. When Erin's senior professors found out about the video, they believed Erin had completely lost her mind. Because of this, Erin was fired from her job. With no other option, she had no choice but to return to Abby and Julia. Although Erin was angry with them, Abby believed that if one ghost existed, then many other unique things like it could also exist. So, Abby and Julia decided to advance their gadgets and needed a larger space to continue their experiments. This required funding, but despite seeking financial support from everywhere, they faced disappointment, as no one was willing to invest in their paranormal activity research. Meanwhile, at a railway station, a man named Roman was shown speaking to a female officer named Petty. Roman told Petty that the world would soon end, and that she should do whatever good things she wanted in her remaining time. After saying this, Roman quickly left. Petty was confused by what he had said, so she decided to follow him using CCTV cameras for safety. Roman went directly to the railway tracks, where a train was about to arrive. Petty rushed to the tracks to try to help him, but after a while, Roman hid in a corner. Suddenly, Petty began to feel something strange near the tracks. Before she could react, a dangerous ghost appeared in front of her. For some reason, Roman seemed happy to see the ghost, but Petty, terrified, ran away. We also learn that Roman worked as a waiter in a restaurant, but he had a small research lab where he studied ghosts. Roman believed that such entities existed in the world, but a way needed to be found to bring them into the human world. He had been thinking of ways to bring many ghosts into his world. Meanwhile, Aaron, Abby, and Julia were constantly trying to find a large space where they could continue their experiments and eventually open a company that would research paranormal activities. Due to a limited budget, after much difficulty, the three of them managed to find a small room. For now, they were very happy because they finally had a place to conduct their experiments. Abby decided that they would hire someone for the smaller tasks of the experiment. After searching a bit, they found a man named Kevin. Kevin was a bit slow in terms of intelligence, but he was still willing to help. Aaron and Abby started advertising their paranormal research company, and soon they had their first customer, none other than Petty. Petty informed them about the paranormal activities she had experienced at the railway tracks. Petty clearly told them that she had seen a dangerous ghost at the railway tracks. To investigate, Aaron, Abby, and their team went to the tracks. After a short while, they saw the same terrifying ghost. Julia handed Aaron a gadget designed to catch ghosts. Aaron quickly activated the device and directed it towards the ghost. These advanced electromagnetic radiation gadgets were capable of controlling ghosts. With the help of this gadget, they were able to control the ghost temporarily. However, when a train approached, the ghost took the opportunity and escaped. But at least Aaron, Abby, and Julia gained more information about the ghost. They immediately began upgrading their gadgets to be more effective. Petty then approached the group and said that it had always been her dream to see ghosts and experiment with them. She wanted to join Aaron, Abby, and Julia's team. Petty even offered her car so that they could travel quickly from one location to another. Aaron's team was delighted with the help. Meanwhile, we see Roman, whose neighborhood was being attacked by some ghosts. One of the ghosts had entered a nearby woman's body. However, Roman did not tell anyone about these occurrences. Later, when Roman entered his house, it was revealed that he had trapped several ghosts inside mirrors. Actually, Roman was capturing different types of ghosts and conducting research on them. Meanwhile, Julia and Abby were continuously upgrading their gadgets because they knew they might encounter even more dangerous ghosts in the future. But by now, the whole world knew about these four, and critics were voicing their disapproval, claiming that these women were just using paranormal activities as a ploy to become famous, accusing them of scripting everything and claiming that ghosts didn't even exist. However, Aaron, Abby, and their entire team ignored these criticisms and focused on their work. Soon, they had a new customer, a hotel manager. He explained that paranormal activities had been experienced in one of his hotel's rooms. So, Aaron, Abby, and their team dressed in new costumes and went to the hotel. After entering the room where the paranormal activity was reported, a statue started chasing them. Petty ran towards the others, but the statue, which was lifeless, moved towards them in a terrifying way. The four women lined up and fired their boosters, which captured the statue and immobilized it. After attacking together, the ghost inside the statue came out. It was a flying, dangerous dragon ghost. The ghost flew away to a location where a big concert was happening. Everyone at the concert was enjoying themselves, but little did they know, their lives were about to change. The crowd was still having fun when, suddenly, they saw the ghost for the first time, hovering above them. The flying dragon ghost grabbed Petty, but Aaron and Julia kept firing their gadgets at it. After a short struggle, they managed to control the ghost and trapped it inside a jar. The best part was that the entire incident was witnessed by everyone at the concert, which led to the four women being praised and admired by the crowd. Many people started to believe in Abby and Aaron's paranormal research and the ghost stories they shared. A shocking turn of events happens when the very critic who had been calling Aaron and Abby's work a lie comes to them. The critic simply says that they need to prove whether ghosts exist or not. He demands solid evidence, asking them to show proof that ghosts are real. Aaron explains that they had managed to capture the flying ghost with great difficulty, and if they release it, it will be impossible to capture again. However, Abby wants the truth to be known to the world, especially to all the critics who had been against them. She believes it's time for everyone to see the evidence. Reluctantly, they release the ghost from its jar, and as soon as it is freed, the dangerous flying ghost flies out and pushes the critic through a window. The ghost vanishes forever, but the critic falls and is severely injured. A crowd gathers around the scene, and soon two men from the mayor's office arrive. They take Aaron, Abby, and the team to meet the mayor, who tells them that while they are doing good work solving paranormal activities, their actions are only for publicity. Aaron, angry and frustrated, argues that they are putting their lives at risk to help people, but instead of being appreciated, they are being accused. The mayor's true motive is soon revealed. He doesn't want these women gaining attention because it would take away from his own power in the city. The mayor threatens them, saying their actions are illegal and that if they don't stop, they will be sent to jail. Despite the mayor's threats, Aaron, Abby, and the team decide to continue their work secretly. Meanwhile, the mayor's assistant publicly tells the media and reporters that the women are staging the paranormal activities as a publicity stunt and that ghosts don't exist. But Abby and Aaron aren't discouraged by the criticism. Abby sits with a map of the city, marking locations where paranormal activity has been happening, indicating that they will continue their mission to uncover the truth about the supernatural. After carefully planning the locations where paranormal activities had occurred, Aaron and Abby find a crucial crossroad, a large restaurant. Through some research, they realize that this restaurant is where all the ghosts involved in these activities are likely to converge. They speculate that if all the ghosts gather in one place, the energy generated could open a portal to another universe. This would allow dangerous spirits and entities to enter their world. Determined to stop this from happening, Aaron and Abby's team starts preparing a plan to prevent the portal from opening. However, while investigating a chamber in the restaurant, they encounter Roman, who reveals that he has used their ideas to create a machine that can open the portal to another universe. Aaron and Abby realize the devastating consequences if the portal opens. Evil spirits and ghosts would enter their world. They urgently plead with Roman to stop, but to their shock, Roman laughs and electrocutes himself, ending his life right there. The team is left confused, not understanding why Roman did this. However, they find an old book in the chamber that contains stories of imaginary and fictional tales. The connection between the book and Roman remains a mystery. Soon after, police officers arrive and arrest Aaron and Abby's team. The mayor's assistant claims that they are being arrested for fake charges because the mayor wants to take credit for all the paranormal discoveries. Aaron and Abby's team is forced to leave empty-handed. As they leave, a random man films Aaron and accuses her of lying about the existence of ghosts. In a fit of anger, Aaron punches the man, breaking his nose. The next day, the news headline reveals Aaron's outburst, leading to her public humiliation. Disheartened and feeling defeated, Aaron tells her friends that they should quit because everyone is against them and considers them frauds. This causes the team to become demotivated and lost in doubt about their mission. Aaron, still grappling with the mystery of Roman's actions, sits in her room reading the book she found at Roman's place. As she goes through the pages, she notices strange writings that appear to be in Roman's handwriting. Upon closer inspection, Aaron realizes Roman had planned everything. He wanted to open a portal to the other world filled with spirits, and he had taken his own life in such a manner that, after death, he could transform into a powerful ghost. However, by the time Aaron uncovers this, it may already be too late. Meanwhile, as Abby enters the bathroom, she notices something eerie emerging from the wash basin. It's a dangerous spirit, Roman's soul, now possessing Abby's body. Soon, Abby begins to exhibit strange behavior, with green liquid oozing from her body. Aaron tries to contact everyone to warn them, but they don't respond. Patty and Julia are waiting for Abby, who has been in the bathroom for a while. When Abby finally emerges, her behavior is completely different. She starts destroying all the gadgets with a metal rod. Julia tries desperately to stop her, but since Roman's spirit now controls Abby's body, she attacks Julia, trying to throw her out of the window. Before Abby can do this, Patty manages to save Julia. Patty quickly realizes that something is terribly wrong when Abby's head twists unnaturally, indicating a malevolent force inside her. In a bold move, Patty slaps Abby hard, causing Roman's spirit to leave Abby's body. However, Roman's spirit doesn't leave entirely. It enters Kevin's body, which no one realizes. Aaron, sensing impending danger, rushes to the mayor to warn him about the coming threat. She pleads with him to evacuate the city, as the dangerous spirits are about to arrive. But the mayor dismisses her warnings, still not believing in her claims. Meanwhile, in Kevin's room, the possessed Kevin activates the machine that had been designed to open the portal. The energy from all the spirits trapped in mirrors is released, and the combined power of these entities opens a portal to the other world. As a result, countless malevolent spirits and ghosts are unleashed into the city, signaling the beginning of chaos. The mayor and his staff continue to ignore Aaron's warnings, but now the danger is no longer something they can deny. The city is about to be overwhelmed by the very forces Aaron and her team had been trying to stop. Patty, Abby, and Julia, armed with their advanced gadgets, are battling the ghosts that have spread across the city, wreaking havoc and causing harm to the people. Meanwhile, Roman, having trapped spirits inside large balloons, is using them to destroy the city. The trio fights fiercely, trying to contain the spirits and protect the public. Eventually, Aaron arrives to join them in the battle. The energy from these spirits becomes so immense that it begins to open a portal beneath the ground. Meanwhile, Kevin, who is possessed by Roman's soul, appears in front of the group. Using dark magic, Roman controls the situation, freezing the entire crowd in place. No one can move, and the team realizes that they need to stop Roman's influence before it spreads further. Aaron and Abby confront Kevin, pleading with Roman's spirit to leave Kevin's body. Roman, in response, insists that Kevin's body is far too powerful to give up. However, Patty manages to provoke Roman by calling out his arrogance and reminding him that without Kevin's body, he would be nothing. In a fit of rage, Roman decides to abandon Kevin's body, transforming himself into a monstrous, gigantic being made of pure dark energy. The size of Roman's monstrous form is immense, destroying buildings as he moves, becoming a literal force of destruction. Despite their best efforts to fight him, Aaron and Abby quickly realize that they need a more powerful solution to close the portal and stop the chaos. The two devise a plan. They decide to combine the power of their gadgets with a nuclear bomb located in their car. They believe that if they channel the energy of their weapons into the bomb and fire it into the portal, they could destroy it completely, preventing the spirits from flooding their world. The plan is risky, but it may be the only way to save the city and stop Roman's reign of terror. The countdown to their final showdown begins. Everyone liked Aaron's plan, so they gathered their nuclear bomb-equipped car and fired it, blasting it into the portal. This method started working after a short while because the reverse energy was so powerful that it began closing the portal. Roman's evil soul also started weakening, but before Roman's ghost could return to the large portal, it grabbed Abby. Aaron didn't want her dear friend to die this way, so she tied a rope around her waist and jumped directly into the portal. Since Roman's soul had a strong grip on Abby, Aaron kept firing at Roman's hands until Abby was freed. Roman's giant soul then entered the portal, and Aaron immediately grabbed Abby and pulled her out. Once the portal closed, everything that was destroyed was restored. After everything returned to normal, the mayor kept claiming that it was all a publicity stunt, and ghosts didn't actually exist. However, those who were present during the major event had already seen the reality. If Aaron, Abby, Patty, and Julia hadn't been there, the whole world would have been destroyed. The four of them sat in a restaurant and decided that they would never leave each other's side, no matter how many difficulties they would face in the future. They would always face them as a team. And with that, our story ends here.